If part of your classwork requires students to reach out to experienced professionals to learn about a specific profession, industry, or professional skill, use the DU Career Network to make it easier for them to find volunteer mentors. You no longer have to be in the middle making multiple connections. The DU Career Network is FERPA compliant. The first step is for students to join the DU Career Network. There are two ways to do this. The first is to invite them. To do this, send a class list to alumni careers at du.edu, including their DU ID numbers, first and last name, and email addresses. This eliminates one verification step for them. Alternatively, you can encourage students to join the DU Career Network by going to du.firsthand.co. The process is identical except for the verification process. If you choose the first method and some of your students already have accounts, the system will not email them a second invitation, as it only allows one person per email address in the system. Please encourage your students to open their accounts using their LinkedIn profiles. This will make updating easier. Also, they will need to answer a series of career goal questions that will be posed to them. This is important as it helps the system algorithm better match them to potential mentors. Once students have set up their account and they go into the system, their dashboard will appear like this. They can use their own profile, and in the profile, they can also edit it, again, updating with LinkedIn if they choose to do that. To accomplish their informational interviews, they will first go to the Mentors tab. As indicated previously, the Mentors tab in each individual's profile will be unique based on the career goals that they indicated when signing up for their account. There will always be a top match and then several other matches in the system. If students choose to search for somebody, they can either search by keyword or by any of the other fields down below. Please note that the industries and functions fields are the same categories that LinkedIn uses and are linked to those profiles. Students can search either way. Let's take an example. If the student decides Kevin Rossi is in fact their best match, they would click on his profile to start the informational interview process. When they get there, they will see the items that Kevin has indicated he is comfortable discussing. This comes from a pre-selected group of topics that are included in the mentor sign-up process. There are two categories for those topics. One is career information, and the opportunities are the same as those that students can obtain when they schedule career appointments through the various departments on campus. The second is leadership and management. This portion of the profile indicates what a particular mentor is comfortable discussing. If Kevin meets the needs of the student based on the assignment you have given them, they would come over to the Book a Consultation tab and choose the category that is most appropriate. Let's start with networking and informational interviews. You should know that in the system, all of the categories are limited to 20 minutes. However, it is up to the individual mentor and protege if they choose to talk longer than that. The system does not cut them off automatically. Next, as a student, I would look at the times that the mentor has indicated that he or she is available. They can indicate generally times, for example, every Tuesday and Thursday evening and Sunday morning, or they can indicate specific times tied to their calendar. If the student chooses Friday at 6 o'clock, they would select that. When they get to the next page, they can choose a second time slot if they choose, or they would just click continue. Then they would complete this provided template indicating the reason that they are reaching out, paying particular attention to the second box where they would indicate, I am in a class studying X, and our instructor has requested that we reach out to alumni to find information about this. It appears that you will be able to help me with that. I look forward to hearing from you. If the class assignment includes any kind of document that would be helpful for them to discuss, the student can attach it here. They can also include a link if they choose to something else. But please note that alumni do not have access to Canvas. So if the student is trying to attach a link to a Canvas class assignment, the alum will not be able to see that if they include the link in this section. They would then send the request and wait for the mentor to respond to them. Mentors and proteges each receive a system-generated survey to ask them to rate the mentor or protege they spoke with. Over time, this will generate information in the system about the mentors who have provided the best information, making it easier for proteges to reach out to somebody who will be best able to assist them. There are some system conditions that you should be aware of as you prepare assignments for students. The first is that mentors can limit the number of consultations and the frequency that they have them. Students will only see those mentors who are currently available when they request a consultation. That means if you have a particularly large class and the assignment is very narrow, it may make it more difficult for students to find a mentor. Keep in mind there are currently over 1,000 mentors in the system, so the resource is relatively large at this time, but it does mean that those students who are quickest to act will be most likely to find the best mentors for this. Second, all of the interactions take place using the in-platform video and/or audio tools, and the consultations cannot be recorded. Finally, all system administrators can verify whether a protege has scheduled and/or completed a meeting and with which mentors. They will also be able to see the rating of the protege if the mentor chose to fill that out. However, in order to obtain this information, either you as a faculty member or someone in your department who you designate as an administrator for a wider group of people has to become an administrator in order to access this or the other administrative tools. There is no centralized support for administrative back-end aspects of the system. If you have questions about any of this, how to access the system, or are interested in becoming an administrator yourself or for someone in your section, please reach out to alumnicareers@du.edu.